Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the managing director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing sort of the next boat people and sort of Asian immigration policy. What are we talking about when we talk about the quote-unquote next boat people? This is actually a quote from a book called Millennium, Winners and Losers in the Coming World Order by Jacques Attali, 1990, and I quote, "At that time, the economy of the United States will be going down and the next boat people will be Americans leaving America looking for work abroad." So the quote-unquote next boat people. Now, I'm not a real doom and gloomer about the American economy in the long-term sense. I'm really not, actually. I think over the course of the next couple of years, I think the American economy is probably going to go through a major transition, and that transition is going to be painful in certain ways, and I feel the worst for folks who will bear the brunt of it in the working middle classes, the lower classes, and just the middle class in general in the United States. I suspect the transition might not be all that rough for some sort of in the upper middle class and above. Not to get into too much into that, but the fact remains, I think there's going to be a major wave of expatriation from the United States. There's going to be a lot of folks who are looking for opportunities outside of the U.S. in the relative near term. And by relative near term, I mean like roughly the next 3 to 5 years. Because honestly, I do believe after this kind of transitional period, I think America is going to come roaring back. You know, our dynamism, our innovation, our entrepreneurial ethic, our work ethic, I think are all going to come back to the forefront after sort of clearing off what I would call some more decadent philosophies, decadent thinking. And again, I'm not out here looking at the world like this through this fall of Rome lens. I don't think that's very useful. Moreover, I don't think it's all that accurate, really. I think if you're looking at it from the context of sort of the Roman Empire, if you're trying to find analogies, make comparisons, the Byzantine Empire, the Eastern Empire is probably where to look for the future of the United States in many, many ways. And when I say that, I'm not talking about the fall. I'm talking about the roughly 1,400 years the Byzantine Empire continued to exist. Very few people realize that it was just the existence of the Eastern Roman Empire. Think about this for a minute. The Eastern Roman Empire existed up until just a couple of decades, a few decades before Columbus discovered America. To put that into context, sort of historical context, that it was only a few decades difference between the time Constantinople fell to the discovery of the New World, as it were. And again, I'm not one of these sort of Romanophiles or Byzantinophiles that thinks that this was like the height of civilization or whatever. Look, things come, they go up and down. I truly think America has staying power in the long term. But yeah, there's going to be a transitional moment here. I think also America is going to become far more integrated in a very real sense with the international community in the rest of the world because of some of this expatriation. So again, I don't think it's necessarily a good thing or a bad thing. I think there's ramifications in both the short and long term. In the short term, I think, again, it's probably going to be a bit of a rough ride for folks in America over the forthcoming possibly months, but years in the immediate term. But I think when we come out of that, things are going to turn around greatly. I actually think, as I said, the United States economy is going to come roaring back. But it is going to be interesting to watch the various policies which are made by immigration offices throughout various countries throughout Asia and how they deal with the so-called new boat people.